Well, turning now to an update on a story you all had a lot to say about last week, building a Major League Baseball stadium on Portland's South Waterfront and changing part of a law from 2003 to help pay for it. Well, this week, Senate Bill 110 passed out of committee and now heads to the full Senate for discussion and a vote. If it becomes law, it would allow for up to $800 million in bonds to pay for a stadium, to be repaid over 30 years with a jock tax, which is an income tax on the MLB teams and players' staff. Lawmakers held a work session on the bill yesterday, which lasted well over an hour, hearing from people for and against a stadium in Portland. Now, one person who says the stadium would be good for the city is Multnomah County Commissioner Julia Brim Edwards.
As elected officials, we have to make tough decisions on a regular basis. But fortunately, this isn't one of those cases. If it were a fly ball, my boys would call it a can of corn. The economic benefits of bringing a baseball team to Oregon are significant. We've seen the Blazers, the Timbers, the Thorns, and the impact they've had on the regional and Oregon economy. Oregon is already the global capital of the athletic footwear and apparel industry, and the professional baseball team will build on that economic engine. As Portland and Multnomah County get back on track, supporting economic growth is a priority, as is continuing to attract people to live, work, and visit Portland.
Also in support, former Oregonian sports writer Dwight James, who said a stadium would attract a lot more than just baseball.
There might be NCAA tournaments there. There might be UFC, boxing, WrestleMania, whatever. All those people looking for bigger venues. But not only that, the Golden Goose, the concerts. And I would just say, wrapping up, I don't know what Taylor Swift is going to look like 5 or 6 years from now. But see, she's on the radar if you have that ballpark in Portland. Will you get her here? That's the kind of concert that's looking for big, huge outdoor venues in the summer. And we've got that, whether it rains or not.
We shall see. But there was plenty of opposition as well, with people saying they can't stomach the idea of just how much it will cost.
Given all the economic uncertainty in the air with no end in sight, the cuts to federal jobs, mounting trade tensions affecting the cost of living, and the confusion and uncertainty surrounding government-funded state services, which represents nearly a third of Oregon's budget, I think this is a terrible message to send to us Oregonians if this bill passes.
Now, to be clear, Senate Bill 110 would not cost taxpayers anything, in theory. The money to pay back the bonds would come from the team and staff, including visiting teams and staff. And since a stadium is certain to cost way more than just $800 million the bonds would raise, the rest of construction costs would fall on the investors who want a piece of the team, not the state. Now, could the state get involved further down the line? Sure. But as of now, Senate Bill 110 is just the big push to show the MLB that Portland should be considered for an expansion team and that there's a plan in place to get a stadium built. Again, the bill passed committee and now heads to the full Senate. If it passes that chamber, it would still need to pass the House before going to the governor.